Hi, I'm Ryan Mathewson, Golden Harvest Agronomist for Northeast Kansas and Southeast Nebraska. So a big topic for growers this year is going to be tar spot. So tar spot moved into the area last year, a lot of times kind of later into the year where it didn't create a lot of an economic impact to yield, but it still showed up, and what we know now is that there are spores for that fungus in the area. They overwinter on the corn residue and blow around with wind. So we know that the inoculant for the disease is going to be very high based off of last year, and I expect that the disease could move further west and south again, based off of that's kind of been the trend that it's been on, is every year it seems to move a little bit further south, a little bit further west every year. So with that inoculant in the area, and then you take your environment. So we've had a really good corn growing environment this year, in most cases, where we've had ample rainfall, and what that does is also promote good fungus growing weather. So good corn growing weather is always going to be good fungus growing weather as well. So we have those things going on. Tar spot really likes leaf wetness for greater than 7 hours in a day. It likes cooler temperatures, and all those things can happen periodically throughout the growing season. After a rainfall event, whether the temperature cools off, the leaves are wet, it's humid and sticky for a while, and so that all favors tar spot. So for the management of tar spot, we definitely want to do a couple things. Having a really great hybrid that's not as susceptible to the fungus is helpful, but the main thing is going to be a fungicide application. And we want to use a good long-lasting fungicide, one of the more modern ones, the triple modes of action. A good SDHI chemistry would be very helpful in managing tar spot. So for areas that have had high pressure before, closer to the Missouri River, where the environment is greater for tar spot, in those areas, that's going to be table stakes, but then maybe even an additional application later in the growing season might be necessary. But for the bulk of the coverage area, a good application of a good fungicide at R1 or VT is going to be key. So as soon as you see those tassels, get the planes going out and getting a good fungicide on those. So the good news is, even if tar spot doesn't show up, there's still all of the common offenders are still at play. So northern corn leaf blight, gray leaf spot, so the rust can still blow in from the south. So all of those things are going on that we would normally spray a fungicide for. So we're going to cover a lot of things and have a really good chance for return on our investment with our fungicide, more so than other years. Some years I would say the fungicide's been a little bit of a debate. Now I kind of feel that fungicide's a little bit less of a debate. It's something that we need to do because we don't want to be caught having a whole bunch of tar spots show up later on and really impact our yield. So tar spot will be infected about 2 to 3 weeks before you see the symptoms of it. So it's really kind of impossible to scout for when you're trying to make your decision to put a fungicide on. Much like weed control, the best plan is a prevention plan and not trying to go out there and make a rescue treatment after the problem has really blown up. So a couple resources that we have is we do have ratings for all of our hybrids in our seed guides, or we'll attach a document with some of our ratings for disease, and we will put that in the section below the video. And that can be a helpful resource just to kind of as a guide of what you might expect. But I really think that it's going to be very critical to at least get one application at the tassel time frame of a good long-lasting fungicide. So if you have questions, please reach out to your local Golden Harvest sales rep, agronomist, or seed advisor. Thank you, and have a great growing season.